Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I am MD Abul Khaer, BGST Senior BGS teacher of Milestone School and College, Moshire branch. Dear students of class 6, today I will take a class of BGS on chapter 1. Our today's topic is lesson 1 and 2, Liberation War of Bangladesh. Lesson 3, 4 and 5, Human Settlement and Political History of Bangladesh. Dear students, all of you are welcome to my class. Dear students, we know all over the world today we are suffering and we are passing a horrible time due to coronavirus. But we can't stop our learning. That's why we have to continue our study, and we are going through like this. Why? Dear students, so first of all, our today's lesson, I want to discuss briefly the Liberation War of Bangladesh and background of Liberation War of Bangladesh. Dear students, in details I will discuss lesson 3, 4 and 5. So dear students, you know and you have studied in your previous classes, now Bangladesh is an independent country, but our today's Bangladesh was a part of Pakistan from 1947 to 1971. After being a part of Pakistan, though we were the part of Pakistan, but the Pakistan was divided into two parts. One is East Pakistan and another is West Pakistan. But whole Pakistan's capital was in West Pakistan, and Pakistani rulers deprived us from our rights. That's why in that time of period, or that means from 1971 to 1947 to 1971, there were some struggles and movement. I'd like to show and I'd like to explain to before you some movement, some important movement that movements made a background of liberation of Bangladesh. Dear students, first of all, I'd like to explain language movement. You know, but language movement, it was happened in 1952. Why the language movement? We can feel proud for language movement because only one nation that in all over the world, only one nation who has sacrifices their lives for their mother tongue, that means Bangla language. First of all, they attacked, that means Pakistani rulers first of all attacked on our mother tongue. They tried to impose their language Urdu on us. That's why in 1952 a movement was there, and for that movement we have established our language as our mother tongue. After that, they always deprived us, and there was a discrimination between East and West Pakistan. And in many aspects, they try to discriminate us from in the aspects of job sector, economic sector, social sector, cultural sector. That's why our prominent leader Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was in a press meeting gave 6 point, that is called 6 point movement, and it was in 1966. After that, mass upsurge in 1969. It was also a background of liberation war when the mass people of our country came out in the demand of Agartala case, and at that time mass upsurge happened. After that, in 1970, the Pakistan rulers gave an election, and there was only 169 seats. Among 169 seats, 167 seats got Awami League, and it was a great victory. And it was, we can say that it was a great victory for the Bengali people or East Pakistanis people. After that, in 1971, suddenly Pakistani rulers and army brutally attacked on us on 25th March, that is called Operation Searchlight, and from 26th March began the liberation war, and on 10th April forming Mujibnagar government, and like that on 17th April took the oath Mujibnagar government. Like that 9 months a long bloody war happened. After that, by the sacrifices of 30 lakh peoples and by the sacrifices of our heroes, freedom fighters, we got our country as an independent nation on 16 December 1971. Now we are an independent country and we are going up. Dear students, briefly, it was the background of liberation war, and now I would like to explain before you lesson 3, 4 and 5. Dear students, in lesson 3, 4 and 5, the topic is human settlement and political history of Bangladesh. Dear students, you know we are living now in a modern age, but human settlement in this country or in this area from primitive ages, how we can see, if you go to the very important and famous places of our country like in Sylhet, Chittagong, Kumilla, Rajshahi and Norshindi, you can say many famous and archaeological sites are available there. In these sites, we can see the tools and elements of primitive ages, that means stone ages. So in the stone ages, the people of that period, they used stones made by stone tools to hunt and to cultivate and to live and to fight. So, if you go to Narshindi, you can see their Warrior Bateshwar, Kumilla, Chattogram, and other famous places, archaeological sites. So these sites shows us how the primitive people has settled humanity or has settled and lived on that period of time. Dear students, I have divided the lesson 3, 4 and 5 in 3 period of time. First of all, Gupta dynasty, second Pala dynasty, third is Shana dynasty. Dear students, and there was a mutiny. I will discuss briefly it. So, dear students, in Gupta dynasty, the time period of Gupta dynasty was 2700 BC to 1700 BC. In that time of period, Gupta, and it's called the Maurya emperor was there, and the first urban civilization established in that time of period. If you can see, if you can go to Pakistan, then you can see there Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are available there, and uh, these sites is showing the primitive ages, and this is there, that was the first urban civilization of the Indian subcontinent. Dear students, after Gupta dynasty, there in our country we can see there was a dynasty, Pala dynasty. Dear students, you can ask, if you ask me what is dynasty. Dynasty means it's a hierarchical rulers, uh, that means Bongshanukram. When a ruler, after a ruler, when his son or his younger brother or from his blood connected any people come in power, that is called dynasty. So in that Pala dynasty, the founder of Pala dynasty is Gopal. After Gopal, there was Mohipa, Dharmapal, Rampal, and the time period of Pala dynasty is 750 to 1161 AD. Dear student, you can ask me, if you ask me what is BC and AD, BC means before Christ and AD means after death. That means before the death of, before the burning of Jesus Christ is called BC, and after death means before the dying of uh, Jesus Christ. That means Isa alayhi salam, and we start the counting of the year from that time of period. So that was the that period, in that period Pala dynasty, and the socio-economic condition, archaeological condition, cultural condition, and fine and arts condition was very good in Pala dynasty. But there was a bad ruler who is Muhipala II. So during the time period of Muhipala II, against Muhipala II, the Koivarta mutiny was happened there. What is Koivarta mutiny? Koivarta means there was a community, that is fishing community. So their mode of production was fishing. So they went against the Mohipala II due to the uh, exploitation of Mohipala II, and he was a bad ruler at the time of Pala dynasty, and he took the leader of Koivarta mutiny was Dibbo. He was the leader. And after coming the power from the taking from Mohipala II by defeating, they ruled that the Bangla 2 years. That means from 1080 AD to 1082 AD. But there, unfortunately, after 2 years, the Dibbo was killed by firing. Like that, Pala dynasty was there. Lastly, I want to explain the Shena dynasty. Shena dynasty's time period 1098 to 1204 AD. Dear students, in that time of period, the Shena rulers came to power in this country or in this area or in Bengal. Who are the Shena dynasty? Shena dynasty means those were Shena dynasty's rulers. Mainly, they were the army of that period. They came from Karnataka, from in South India. Uh, uh, Day by day, they increased their power. One time, they took the ruling power of that area, and the rulers of Shena dynasty was uh, some rulers, and when they ruled, that in that time of period there were some rulers, their students. The rulers of Shena dynasty was Bijoy Sen, Ballal Sen, and other rulers. In that time of period, a Muslim came to take power. You know the name of that Muslim, Ikhtiaruddin Muhammad bin Bukhtiyar Kholji. They took the power, and they took from uh, on in 1205. In that time of period, they took and they ruled the Bengal. Dear students, it was the human settlement and political history of Bangladesh. I think uh, it's clear to you now, dear students. Now our SW, dear students, there are 3 RQs. Today's SW number is 10. Number 1 is, what are the prehistorical sites in the political history of Bangladesh? Number 2 question is, what is the first urban civilization in India? Number 3, make a list of the ancient dynasties chronologically. Dear students, no more today. Now I would like to conclude my class. So I think all of you will be enjoyed my class. You have enjoyed my class, and you will be able to know more things from my class. And always you will stay fine and stay home, stay safe. Pray for Allah for this unfavorable situation. I am also praying to Allah for your good and sound health. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.